Hi, welcome to my channel.
Who's ready to get scary? Uncle Kenny! Football! Hey, yeah!
If you're new here, my name is Cedric. I'm an actor, writer, and filmmaker. And if you're not new here, it might feel like you are. I fully confess it has been, we'll call it a minute. It's been a minute since I've posted. It's been more than a minute. It's been
1 week since you looked at me. Cocked your head to the side and said I'm angry.
more than a week. It's been more than a month. It's been a certain amount of time has passed. I apologize for that. As you all know, my career is always going to take precedent as an actor and as a writer and as a director. We've had some very exciting things happening in the last few months, but it's meant a lot of work for me, and I just haven't had time for this. And as you guys know, I want to provide high quality content for you and high quality analyses, and these take a lot of brain power to do, these videos, and I don't ever want to give you guys something that I'm not proud of. And so for the last few months, it's kind of been, I know where my energy's been, and it's been really long work weeks and not enough sleep, as you can probably tell. And so I just, I wasn't in a place really where I felt like I was going to be able to give the level of quality that you all deserve as my audience, and you guys have been so wonderful. I appreciate all the sedgehogs out there, and so that's been the reason for the delay, but I appreciate all of you. I especially appreciate those of you on my Patreon. Thank you to my patrons especially. I know I have been slow to post there, and I apologize even more profusely to you. Some of what I've been working on I haven't been able to say yet, as you've probably caught on. We are working on packaging and financing a film right now, and look around the world, it's not an easy time. So it's a work in progress, and I have a great team behind me, but it's fallen by the wayside, and I apologize specifically to my patrons on Patreon. But thank you so much for that. You guys know how much you mean to me. You guys know how much a cup of coffee means to me. And so thank you for helping fund that habit and fund this career that really, really means the world to me. If you are anywhere near Columbus, Ohio, from July 10th to August 10th, I will be performing in the musical Waitress. I am playing Earl. Waitress is a wonderful show with music by Sarah Bareilles. And for those of you who might be like, wait, Cedric, Columbus, why does Ohio sound so familiar when I think about him? I am from Ohio. I lived in Columbus specifically for 6 years. I am so overjoyed to be returning home. I'll be at the Short North stage. So if you're anywhere near there and can make it out, this is a wonderful musical with a stellar cast in my favorite city, and I'm so excited to be there. I can't wait. I hope to see you there. As a quick note, I will not be performing on July 20th, July 23rd, or July 24th or July 25th. So I will not be in those shows. There is a wonderful actor going on in my stead, and I recommend that you go check him out. You will probably like him more than me, let's be real honest here. Still go see the show, but if you're coming to see me, I just wanted to make you aware I will not be in the show on the 20th, 24th, and 25th, but I will be in all the other performances. I've got a link for tickets in the description of this video as well as in the pinned comment. Please come check it out and support local theater. We need more theater. Let's do it. Also, I get to eat a lot of pie. It's a musical about pie. It's about a woman making pies, and I'm gonna eat pie. I love pie. I love cherry pie specifically, but pie is great. I love dessert. I love eating. I love food. I'm pretty excited for this role. I'm gonna have to do some more research. Need to eat more dessert. Okay, this is Ren. Hi, Ren. I have heard a lot about this. It's been recommended to me really since I started the channel, I think, or right around then. A lot of people have said that I would really enjoy this. I've had some patrons float it to me, and so it's high pastime. I thought, hey, when we're kind of not relaunching the channel, but after several months coming back to it, I thought let's do something a little bit different. Let's honor those recommendations. Let's check this out. So this is Ren. Hi, Ren. It's long, so I'm not fully sure what to expect. It's nearly 10 minutes, so this is probably a long video, especially with how all the yammering and yapping I've been doing already. So let's check it out. If you're new to the channel, please know that I am going to pause, I am going to analyze, I'm going to dissect, I'm going to discuss cinematography and production design and vocal technique and all those things. That's what we do here on this channel. That's why this channel exists. I'm trying to use my expertise to educate and to entertain you and to get better at my craft by observing new art. So if that's not what you're into, I totally understand that. I appreciate that. this is probably not the channel for you, and I wish you well on your journey, but that's what we're gonna do here. So it's probably not worth it to be like, oh, he paused too much. No, I paused exactly the amount that we're used to on this channel. So totally get it if that's not your thing, but that is our purpose here. If you wanna watch somebody that doesn't do that, there's plenty of other channels, but I'm here to educate and to help teach, as well as experience things for the first time. So just a little disclaimer before we begin. Let's jump in. This is Ren. Hi, Ren. Huh. Ooh. Sorry, I know that's a really early pause, but I just want to talk early on about what we're doing to establish tone. So having wheeled him in from just off camera, and then we've got someone that looks like, he's in a hospital gown, and there's someone that looks like almost like a butcher wearing a pig mask. Very evocative right off the bat, and we've got this cracked paint on the wall behind him. It's all kind of dilapidated. We're hearing this guitar. You can see that, I don't know if the strings are reflecting a light or if one of those is the same color as the wall behind him. Looks like the cord plugged into the guitar is also that color. So a lot of production design notes happening early on. It's kind of this eggshell bluish shade that I would associate with a hospital in particular. So the wheelchair has that same color in it too. So that's a really interesting note right off the bat. And then the structure of the guitar notes, you really hear that dom when he's plucking that bottom string. That's kind of the theme that's running through this. As beautiful as this guitar playing is, and it is immediately beautiful, you're really getting a sense of weight and depth and darkness to the tone that he's playing with. So notice how they're setting you up for that right off the bat. They're really trying to make sure you understand the tone of this piece. It's already dark, but there's also a beautiful lyricism just to what we've seen already. So that's what I anticipate this is going to be going forward. Nice.
Hi there, Ren. It's been a little while. Did you miss me? You thought you buried me, didn't you? Risky. Cause I always come back. Deep down, you know that. Deep down, you know I'm always in periphery. Ren, on your pleased to see me. It's been weeks since we spoke, bro. I know you need me. You're the sheep, I'm the shepherd. Not your place to lead me. Not your place to be biting off the hand that feeds me.
Hi, Ren. I've been taking some time to be distant. I've been taking some time to be still.
Okay, wow. First that, and I'm not gonna get the notes exactly perfect, but that very kind of you can hear he's really squeezing it there. He's trying to put that texture on it. He wants it to have a little bit of strain on it. It's impressive range, but he wants it to have this strain kind of feeling because it's almost like like it's being constricted, right? There's kind of a choked off nature to that that's embodied by him being stuck in this chair, right? So when we see that it's a wheelchair, we get the sense that he can't move without that. For whatever reason, this is the method by which he moves. And so there's also this, look at how he's holding the guitar. Everything's kind of tight. And so vocally, that's the immediate sense that we get as well. And that contrasts with this really low dum 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 that's on the guitar. And so we're getting this combat instantly between the vocals and the instrumentation, between the physical self and the notes, which are kind of soaring up and out, but there's still that tight, constrained sense. Then let's get into the lyrics. I super did not expect that. I thought it was going to be more singing. This is more of a rap style approach to things. And clearly I think we're dealing with either multiple experiences, or it's multiple people in his life, or it's multiple personalities, multiple Rens. I'm guessing, I would guess because of the hospital gown, it could be multiple like hymns, multiple personality kind of situation, the voices in his head, something like that, but I'm not entirely sure. We'll see where it goes. But when he says things like biting the hand that feeds me, you know, it's been a while since you've seen me, it feels to me like we're talking about maybe voices that you kind of go like, oh, that's gone. I'm not hearing that anymore. And while I can't say that I've had that experience. I am someone, as I've talked about on the channel before, who's a survivor of clinical depression and anxiety. And so I understand that sense of like, whoa, like I thought that was gone. I thought that wasn't here anymore. And so, yeah, this is a fascinating kind of self-portrait that I think that's where I'm guessing this is, or what I'm guessing this is. And it's beautifully done, and it makes the set that much more powerful, that it's this kind of hospital ward feeling that's like broken down, right? Like a hospital ward generally wouldn't be this, I used the word dilapidated earlier, right? Like it wouldn't look like this. So it's more a reflection of his interior self than his exterior reality.
I've been taking some time to be by myself since my therapist told me I'm ill. And I've been making some progress lately, and I've learned some new coping skills. So I haven't really needed you much, man. I think we need to just step back and chill. Ren, you sound more insane than I do. You think that those doctors are really there to guide you? Been through this a million times. Your civilian mind is so perfect to always be aligned to. Okay, take another pill, boy. Drown yourself in the sound of white noise. Follow this 10-step program, rejoice. All your problems will be gone. Dumb boy. Nah, mate. This time is different, man. Trust me.
Okay.
Okay.
So I forgot to mention the flickering lights before, but you notice that that's what's happening when he's looking to the left, and then it's much more steady when he's looking to the right. And you're also getting this, the guitar changes. When he's looking to the left, it's bum 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 papa. It's much more aggressive. It's much more of an attack. We're kind of, I apologize if this is an insensitive comparison, but it's kind of Smeagol Gollum, you know what I mean? Where you're getting the two different approaches to it. Versus looking to the right, no man, I told you it would be okay. Like you're getting this kind of, it's a much more laid back and more firmly structured rhythm to it. I don't know if that makes any sense, but you're getting, the lighting is staying even, and you're kind of getting this like, no, I think things might be okay. Like things might be all right. I think, okay. Whoa, no, I told you they won't be okay. Right? That's what anxiety feels like, right? It's like intellectually I'm aware of like, yeah, things will be fine. Like things are working out. This will be fine. And then there's the like other part that's like, you know, I don't want to get out of bed. I can't get out of bed. And you can, like intellectually, I'm like, all I have to do is get out of bed. But then the other part of your brain's like, no, I can't do that. So I think this is a really beautiful examination of that. I'm sorry to be pausing so much in the first, 2.5 minutes of this video, but I think so far this is really beautifully personal and also vulnerable art that I admire deeply. So I'm really interested to see where this goes, because it feels like I've gotten a lot of experience from this already, and when we're not even a quarter of the way through it.
Feel like things might be falling in place, and my music's been kinda doing bits too. Like I actually might do something great, and when I'm gone, maybe I'll be remembered for doing something special with myself. That's why I don't think that we should talk, man. Cause when you're with me, it never seems to help. You think that you can amputate me? I am you, you are me, you are I am we are one. Split in two, that makes one. So you see, you gotta kill you if you wanna kill me.
Holy cow, let's go back. First of all, I'm now recognizing that I think it's the two talking. So it's when he's looking, and you've probably been screaming this at your screen the whole 17-minute video or whatever, is when he's looking to the left, right? I have to position myself as him. When he's looking to the right, he's talking to the voice that we're hearing when he's looking to the left. Does that make sense? So that's the voice that he's talking to when he's looking to the right and going, no, man, I think I might be doing something great. That's the battle. It's not two different voices and then he's stuck in the middle between them. Although, I don't know, the brain's a weird place. So I might be wrong on that too. But I'm now recognizing this is a dialogue between the two voices, not a battle between like the devil and the angel on the shoulders, right? I wasn't catching that before. Also this, I am you and you are me and we are we, you have to blank you if you have to blank me. That, first of all, what an incredible burst of energy. That's great songwriting. He's kind of lulled you into a rhythm, so you get the sense that you know what's coming next. And then that is very kind of panicky. It kind of induces this sudden sense of like, whoa, that was a lot all of a sudden. And again, what a representation of these struggles and of this reality for so many people. I hope so many people have seen this and felt seen by it.
Actually might do something great, and when I'm gone, maybe I'll be remembered for doing something special with myself. That's why I don't think that we should talk, man, cause when you're with me, it never seems to help. You think that you can amputate me, I am you, you are me, you are I am we are one, split in two, that makes one, so you see, you gotta kill you if you wanna kill me. I'm not leftover dinner, I'm not scraps on the side. Oh, your music is thriving, delusional guy. Where's your top 10 hit? Where's your interview with Oprah? Where are your Grammys, Ren? Nowhere. Yeah, but my music's not commercial like that. I never chase numbers, statistics or stats. I never write hooks for the radio, they never even play me, so why would I concern myself with that? But my music is really connecting, and the people who find it respect it. And for me that's enough, cause this life's been tough, so it gives me a purpose I can rest in. Man, you sound so pretentious. Ren, your music is so self-centered. No one wants to hear another song about how much you hate yourself. Trust me. You should be so lucky, having me inside you to guide you, remind you to manage expectations, provide you perspective. That thing you neglected, I get it. You wanna be a big deal, next Jimi Hendrix, forget it. Man, it's not like that. Man, it's just like that. I'm inside you, you twat. No, it's not, man, you're wrong. When I write, I belong. Let me break the fourth wall by acknowledging this song. Ren sits down, has a stroke of genius. He wants to write a song that was not done previous. A battle with his subconscious. Eminem did it. Played on guitar. Plan B did it. Man, you're not original, you criminal rip-off artist. The pinnacle of your success is stealing other people's material. Ren, mate, we've heard it all before. She sells seashells on the seashore. You, I don't need you, I don't need to hear this, cause I'm fine by myself, I'm a genius. And I will be great, and I will make waves, and I'll shake up the whole world beneath us. That's right, speak your truth.
Good Lord. Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm an artist, and the reason that, you know, you might have to Google me to figure out what I've been in is because I haven't led an Avengers film or anything like that, not yet. And this battle is a very real thing that happens, especially for those of us that exist in the indie space. You know, I've built a career that I'm very proud of. I do this full time. I've been in stuff that I'm incredibly proud of that a lot of people don't know exists or just haven't, you know, been able to find because of any number of reasons. And that's a really difficult thing because this is the real thing. Like I see people my age, younger, that are going out and they're doing these incredible things. And I've had some of that. You know, I've been in things that have won bigger awards and been in the rooms with these Emmy and Oscar winners and had a taste of that. And it's scary how much that does make you hunger for it more instead of finding peace in that you're doing it and you're making the art. And that is such a powerful and relatable and unfortunately parasitic dialogue that does happen, I suspect, for artists, because of course I want to make it, you know, to that level, right, where I'm able to do those things and be that winner or whatever. But I remember having a conversation with someone recently at one of these award ceremonies where they told me that the award doesn't really matter, right? And of course it can change your career, it can change your life, but the award is just an affirmation of the work that you did and the people you did the work with. And I think that's the right perspective. But nevertheless, I mean, we get this sense of like, oh, if I can lead a movie, then I've made it. And I've done that. I've led several, right? And so, okay, well then have I made it, right? Oh, well then I need to lead a studio project. And so I need to win an Oscar. Okay, well then you've won an Oscar. Well, now I need another Oscar, right? It's, what does it mean to find peace in your work or in the creation itself, the act of creation? And when you start to have that dialogue, I can see it happen when I'm having this conversation with people where you see that word pretentious starts to come into their mind. And you think, no, I'm just trying to find peace with my journey and with my craft and my place in all this. And frankly, I've had that comment on this channel. I've had people comment and say, oh, this is so pretentious, so you just don't get it. No, I think I do. I think I've thought about this a lot and I've experienced this a lot. I think that's the reality of it, and it's a series of choices. And so this is very relatable in that regard, which I imagine is why so many of you recommended it to me. And of course, I'm not quite halfway through this, but just from, I don't know if he goes on to other topics, but from that particular conversation right there that he's having, I completely relate and understand and have been there, and it is a brutal and difficult thing to navigate and to negotiate within yourself, and it's not like a one-time thing. It's a series of things. And so what a powerful message and conversation that he's having with himself, but also with us as an audience. I think that, and with the art itself, I think that's another level to this, is that he's also conversing in a way with the guitar, right? Sometimes going with it, sometimes against it. It's a conversation with the artist, the art, and the audience, as art is.
I don't need you, I don't need to hear this, cause I'm fine by myself, I'm a genius, and I will be great, and I will make waves, and I'll shake up the whole world beneath us. That's right, speak your truth, your fucking God complex leaks out of you. It's refreshing to actually hear you say it instead of downplay it. Music is all about the creative process, and if people can find something to relate to within that, then that's just a bonus. Fuck you, I'ma fucking kill you, Ren. Fucking kill me then, let's have you, Ren. I'ma do it, watch me prove it. Who are you to doubt my music? Cause I call the shots, I choose if you die. Yeah, I call the shots, and so I choose who survives. I'll tie you up in knots when I lock you inside. Newsflash. I was created at the dawn of creation. I am temptation. I am the snake in Eden. I am the reason for treason, beheading all kings. I am sin, with no rhyme or reason. Son of the morning, Lucifer, Antichrist, father of lies. Mustopheles, truth in a blender, deceitful pretender, the banished avenger, the righteous surrender when standing in front of my solar eclipse.
Oh my.
Stitched to your lips, so you see, I won't bow to the will of a mortal. Feeble and normal, you wanna kill me? I'm eternal immortal. I live in every decision that catalyzes chaos, that causes division. I live inside death, the beginning of end. I am you, you are me, I am you, Ren.
Wow. Okay, so a couple things. First, notice how powerful the simplicity of this set design is when you've got the two lights, which kind of also begin to feel here like eyes watching from behind him, right? Almost like a snake's eyes when he references the Garden of Eden. I am, what did he say? I'm Satan, I'm Mephistopheles. He listed himself as many things, but the idea that temptation, and to get minorly theological with it, temptation is that which leads us away from love. And he's talking about, I create art because I love this, and because I'm trying to learn how to love myself. And then this is not loving, right? This is I hear what you're saying, but that's wrong, and you're lying to yourself. You really want success. That's what you really want. And that is the temptation, right? And of course I feel it. I just talked about the Oscars, right? Of course there's temptation there. There's jealousy there. Of course, we're all human. And so this is one of the battles of the artist. And I think of all of us, right? To if you're working as an accountant and somebody else gets a promotion that you wanted, or you go over to a friend's house and they have a nicer apartment than yours, or you really like their wood flooring, or I was just at a friend's house and they made us pizza, and I'm a fairly good cook. I like to cook, but I was like, oh my gosh, I could never make pizza like this. I wish I had an outdoor pizza oven, right? Like that's the way that we function. And so what a powerful examination of that. And then to use these lights. Now he does have some other lights. You can see the lens flare coming in the top right of the wide shot. That's, there's definitely some overhanging lights that are flooding the whole space that are meant to supplement the two practical on-screen lights that we see, but everything's flickering in and out. And so you really get this sense of all of these thoughts and sentences flashing back and forth and hitting him in different moments, and all the voices that are kind of battling for his attention, and then the guitar is rising up and up and up, and that's just really well orchestrated and really well designed, and it's really powerful, because that's that sensation of kind of panicking and not being able to overcome what you're experiencing just precisely in that moment. I mean, that's PTSD, right? Like that's what that feels like too. Like it's just really, really powerful. And there's so many layers to what he's examining here. And I think he's drawing really important connections too between what we might write off as a singular thought, but he's kind of chasing that to its root. He's grabbing and pulling and kind of going, okay, where are you coming from, right? Like, let me get very down to the roots of this and see how far you've spread. Like, how insidious is this? Because how can you combat something otherwise, right? You think about a weed in your yard. If you just pull it up and you know, snap it off, well, it'll just regrow. If you get down to the root, you can see how far it's spread. I had to take a bunch of ivy off the house last fall, and you know, it's not just to pull an ivy off. It's okay, how do I trace this vine all the way back down to its root? It's harder, but it's more effective that way. Oh, now it's shoulder mount.
I've been taking some time.
Notice that.
I've been taking some time to be still. I've been taking some time to be by myself, and I've spent half my life ill. But just as sure as the tide starts turning, just as sure as the night has dawned, just as sure as the rain
look into the camera.
Is dry when you stand in an eye of a storm. I was made to be tested and twisted. I was made to be broken and beat. I was made by his
really
hand as
on
a
him
part
now.
of his plan that I stand on my own 2 feet.
Nice.
And you know me, my will is eternal. And you know me, you've met me before. Face to face with a beast, I will rise from the east and I'll settle on the ocean floor. And I go by many names also. Some people know me as hope.
Yeah.
Some people know me as the voice that you hear when you loosen the noose on the rope. And you know how I know that I'll prosper? 'Cause I stand here beside you today. I have stood in the flames that cremated my brain, and I didn't once flinch or shake. So cower at the man I've become when I sing from the top of my lungs. That I won't retire, I'll stand in your fire, inspire that me to be strong. And when I am gone, I will rise in the music that I left behind. Ferocious, persistent, immortal like you, we're a climate different side.
Yeah, that's something I've said a lot, especially in the last 2 years. As some of you know, I saw, and I'm not going to talk about it here, but you can go back and see it. I've talked about it plenty, and we'll talk about it more in the future. But suffered a really tragic loss 2 years ago, and I've always said the difference between that and some of my past struggles is that through some of the journeys, like when I had cancer and everything, I learned resilience, but I also learned to have hope. And I think when he stands up and says that, it's such a powerful message, and one that relates to me so personally, because everything I do in this life comes back to hope and believing in goodness and light, and you know that he stands up out of it, and you know, we're on shoulder mount and we're close to him, and we can see in his eyes that he's telling the truth, and you get this lens flare coming from behind him as he's stepping into the light, stepping out of the flickering darkness and into the light, and it's all shining on him, and he starts singing, "Now cut the man I become," like very forceful. It's an order, it's a demand. Like, yeah, we're a coin with two different sides is the line where I paused, right? But like, that's what he's saying, that hope will rise inevitably, that his music will leave behind this message of hope after. And you can't tell because I'm wearing a sweater because it's a very, very cold summer day here. But I was covered in chills when he got to that part. And this is really, this is very, very powerful. I mean, to me, this is why we make art, because it helps us understand ourselves better, and it helps us understand each other better and our place in the grand mess of all this. It makes some order from chaos. And earlier he talked about how temptation was there at the very beginning. Well, so was hope, right? And so, I don't know. It's a really, really gorgeous message, and I'm just grateful to be able to experience that with all of you, and give my thoughts on it. I don't know. I hope I'm adding anything to it. Get back to this. Boy, that's some athletic running in there. It's good precision throughout.
When I was 17 years old, I shouted out into an empty room, into a blank canvas that I would defeat the forces of evil. And for the next 10 years of my life, I suffered the consequences, with autoimmunity, illness, and psychosis. As I got older, I realized there were no real winners and there were no real losers in psychological warfare, but there were victims and there were students. It wasn't David versus Goliath. It was a pendulum, eternally swaying from the dark to the light. And the more intensely that the light shone, the darker the shadow it cast. It was never really a battle for me to win. It was an eternal dance. And like a dance, the more rigid I became, the harder it got. The more I cursed my clumsy footsteps, the more I struggled. So I got older, and I learned to relax, and I learned to soften, and that dance got easier.
Sorry to interrupt there. There's a line from Andrei Tarkovsky's Stalker. I'm going to put the clip in right here where he says something very similar, and it's, if I recall correctly from the film, it's being offered functionally as a prayer when they're inside this, what they call the zone. And I'm going to put, because it's very similar to what he's saying here, and I remember the whole film I found quite entrancing, but revisiting it recently, I was even more entranced by this line than I was the first time. And it's very similar to what he's saying here about becoming softer and less rigid. And I think that certainty is the great enemy of faith, right? And so, here's the clip from that.
Пусть исполнится то, что задумано. Пусть они поверят. И пусть посмеются над своими страстями. Ведь то, что они называют страстью, на самом деле не душевная энергия, а лишь трение между душой и внешним миром. А главное, пусть поверят в себя и станут беспомощными, как дети. Потому что слабость велика, а сила ничтожна. Когда человек родится, он слаб и гибок. Когда умирает, он крепок и черств. Когда дерево растет, оно нежно и гибко, а когда оно сухо и жестко, оно умирает. Черствость и сила – спутники смерти. Гибкость и слабость выражают свежесть бытия. Поэтому, что отвердело, то не победит.
So I think that's a very similar message to what he's putting out here, and I love that he's kind of stripped it of pretense, that the camera's just very tight on him. I noticed in a fun, I don't know if it was a choice or what, but it struggled to focus on him at first. It was on the back wall, and then it racked to him eventually. But he's unplugged the guitar. This is quite literally unplugged. This is just him and his thoughts, and what a powerful way to end this.
And I learned to relax, and I learned to soften, and that dance got easier. It is this eternal dance that separates human beings from angels, from demons, from gods. And I must not forget, we must not forget, that we are human beings.
We must not forget that we are human beings. And I think that encapsulates our hope, our mistakes, our regrets. I think it's so easy to pass that off onto some other being that we can't see instead of taking responsibility for it, for our decisions to hurt others, to help others, to heal, to smile. That those are choices that either lead us, like I said earlier, away from love or toward love, which isn't necessarily always a binary choice. It's almost always a complicated one, right? But I think he's just really, really hitting that concept and that idea in a powerful and punctuative and, as I said earlier, very vulnerable way. And in a way that I think is wholly unique and speaks to his struggles, but also I think is relatable to any of us who have experienced anything similar to this, or just had these thoughts and wondered at our place in all this and what our responsibility to ourselves and to others is. And I love the simple approach to telling the story and to sharing that message, kind of pare away anything that would get in the way of us receiving that. So really, for the most part, this is 3 cameras. It's a wide shot and 2 medium shots from either side of him. And that's the majority of this. Couple flickering lights. That's almost everything we've got in this. And then eventually we go to kind of the shoulder mount that's fairly close on him. And then we end on a very much a close-up on him. So we're quite literally physically getting closer to him, closer to the core of what his message is. And so visually that's very appealing, but I think just artistically, it's such a poignant message, and one that I think is uniquely relatable in our current era, where identities are forged via likes and algorithms, and it's a reminder that that's not really who we are or what we are. Yeah. I don't know. We're humans, and may we always be so. Thank you so much for watching. I hope I contributed something to this. Regardless, thank you for recommending it to me, to all of you who did, because I feel seen by it, and I think in many ways challenged by it. I can't ask for much more from art than that, can I? So thank you to all of you who watched, who are watching. And as always, please drink lots of water, fix your postures, get as much sleep as you can. And remember that maybe it's good to step away from the screens every once in a while and feel the sun and the wind and the sky and be human. Until next time, be well.